So, welcome to the Maldives and specifically to the Kafu Atoll. This is where we had our amazing resort hotel. And today I will take you onto a special activity, and I will also quickly show where we are located because were located quite close to Mali, actually only 50 minutes away. You could take a speedboat, which was costing us around 300 euros a person, which is a lot, but normally you need to take seaplanes which go for 600 and up. So that's why we also chose this resort, because the expenses were a bit lower. So today we took a little boat close to our island, actually, where we could go and see the nurse sharks. Not only nurse sharks, but also a lot of stingrays, and this is what you will see here in a bit. Some amazing swimming with the 360 camera, the Insta360, with all these animals. I did some free diving, obviously a couple of meters deep, but as you can see, this is amazing, right? Look how many animals are here. And I was able to just swim close to these sharks, nurse sharks to be clear. They don't bite or anything, and you have these tiny little fish underneath these sharks. So this was a truly amazing experience to literally swim with sharks in this relatively clear water. It's a rainy season or low season when we went in September, so it's not the best clear water. So you still have a bit of water which is a bit not super clear as it should be in the Maldives, but still you can see on the Insta360 camera here it looks amazing. So overall I would say this was the best experience. I did hit my head here on the boat, and this was like the first minute I jumped in. Actually, a couple of hours before they cancelled this activity. This activity costs around, I think we paid 150 per person American dollar, so it is quite expensive, but it's the best activity you can do, at least close to this resort, just because it was cancelled an hour before, but then all of a sudden the weather cleared up, as it always does in the Maldives, but especially in rainy season you should really be flexible to do any activity you can. So it cleared up, and a lot of the touristy boats were not yet arriving. I think there's only one or two boats here at the moment when I went into the water, and that was really nice because this allowed me to free dive and pretty much free dive alone with these animals. And if you're asking why are all these fish on this spot, obviously they are throwing some tunas in, even some tuna blood, which you can see actually now on the video because it's a bit troubled water, it's a bit unclear. You can even see the blood, which is a bit nasty if you think about it, but yeah, in a couple of seconds this food is gone, and also like the blood of the tuna is gone. But anyway, it brings all these animals here, and yes, these animals are pretty much somewhat domesticated, let's say, because they eat here every couple of hours, every day they can come here and eat. That's why it's called Shark Point. There's probably also a natural reason why these animals are located here, not only because they can get some food here, but yeah, this was the reason why this is so nice, because it's only 5 minutes away from our resort, which also allows, let's say, the hotel to have a very limited cost of the boat. So here you're actually just paying for the people who are supporting you, the guides and so on. There was one guide who told me that he actually one time was bitten, I think, by this nurse shark, but he showed me the scar and it looked very minimal, not really anything. He still had his hand, so that's fine, but still, you should never touch any of these animals, which is something I found very important. So you can swim with them, but you cannot touch them, at least not with your hands. If they bump into you, that's pretty much fine. Also, the stingray tail, what they told us, is not dangerous for the type of stingray we are swimming with here. So yeah, they also told us that there's almost none to probably not really any major injuries that have been held when doing this activity. Otherwise this activity would have been cancelled a long time ago, because obviously safety is number one for these resorts. They don't want to have any issues with safety and then they lose a lot of money with this amazing activity. There were a lot of other activities, so obviously Maldives is known for its amazing nature, and especially the fauna and flora underwater. So I did also do a nice dive but the clarity was actually less than what I have here, and I didn't see any of these stingrays or sharks in the dive that I did. I saw a lot of colorful fish, which was nice, but the clarity of the water here was way better, probably because it is way less deep than the 10, 15 or 20 meters even I went with the dive. So the dive is very nice. I would definitely recommend it. I did it again in low season, so I paid, what was it, 150 euro for a dive, which is obviously a bit higher than normal prices in other places, but in this case I was also alone on a whole boat. I had actually 3 people supporting me. I didn't book any private one, but they were just yeah, there was no one else to do the dive, so that's nice. Actually I paid pretty much for a private boat trip. Here actually the shark was thinking, I think he could eat something, and then he was, as you can see, he was trying to bite at me. Not really bite, actually more like breathe or like open his mouth in my direction. So you can see actually these animals, they don't feel dangerous at all. Here also I was a bit too close to the animals, so I was touched by them from my leg, maybe my upper body a little bit. So you need to be a bit more careful than I'm here, but I was just swimming anyway. And you see these animals, they just pass by, they go their own way. Obviously these animals also touch other animals, so it's not that they never touch anything. But as long as it's, let's say, safe, it should be fine for us to swim here. But you can see here how clear the water is if you go up the water, and then in the water it's so nice to see how much life there is under the water. On top of the water you would not expect all of these animals to be there, and then all of a sudden you're looking and there's so much life there, so much fish. The fish were not really that colorful, which I found also a bit interesting, why they were not that colorful. And when I went diving, actually there was a bit more colorful fish. Maybe there's a reason for it. And actually here you can, I don't know how deep I went here, maybe 3 meter, 3, 4, 5 meter, I don't know. But it's very nice to go down and to go with the stingrays who are, let's say, eating from the floor or resting at the floor, if they even rest. But the most amazing thing for me was swimming with, obviously, the nurse sharks close to them, deep under the water with no tourists there. So I was trying to avoid here some tourists, and you can even see here down at the bottom you have also the guides doing some free diving. They had like special fins, long fins for diving down there, so that's really amazing. They also take some video. Definitely recommend taking a good underwater camera. My wife had her phone with some kind of case, but that really didn't work at all. There's also a little bit of coral here, but as you can see the coral is quite damaged. It's not really that colorful anymore, and that's the case due to all of the tsunamis and so on. The coral got destroyed, which is very sad. And then there's also the fact that actually the Maldives is sinking, right? So the water levels are rising. They are trying to do a lot of things to make this stop. And here I went up and I had to cross like 3 stingrays, a few sharks, even my camera got stuck, which is kind of funny. I think that's the most funny shot of them all. But yeah, I can say this activity is a must do. There's also, what is it, whale sharks you can see in the Maldives, but you have to go a couple of hours from this spot to other places, so that was around $300-400 American dollars to pay, which I would not do. And then manta ray also is you are able to see the manta rays, which is also pretty nice actually. So yeah, there's too much things to do. Obviously there's some, what was it, windsurfing, kite surfing, there was some kind of sea bob. I didn't do it because it was $100 American dollar. I tried to save a bit of money. There was a sea bob you could rent for, what was it, 100 euro for 15 minutes or something. Too much money, but the sea bob looked pretty fun. It's some kind of a motorized handheld vehicle which allows you to swim a bit faster. And here you can see I'm swimming with these sharks and going underneath a big shark like this. It's at least the biggest sea animal I've seen myself. I did a couple of dives in my life, but I've never seen these big animals so close, and I was like going in every time, swimming with them every time. And with this 360 camera the view was so nice. So it's an Insta360 X5 with a dive case. I have seen that there's now also a dive case Pro, so it's still not the best case for diving like this, but you should take it. I mean, the views you can have compared to any normal GoPro or whatever. This 360 view on the water is, in my opinion, still something out of this world, especially if you have all these fishes there. It just looks so amazing. So Maldives for me is a nice experience. This was the best experience or activity of them all. The prices for houses or overwater villas, let's say they're all villas, are a bit too expensive in my opinion. So they go for at least 500 to 1,000, 2,000 euros a night. So that's way too much money to spend to go to the Maldives, in my opinion. Anyone with sane brain would not do that. But obviously, if you do have the money, you can do it, but I would not recommend it. Maybe one time you can do it, but no, I don't think it's really worth it to do it, because in Asia you have so many similar places with overwater villas with similar nature and fauna and flora. But yeah, this is obviously one of the main reasons you would come here. So this is truly amazing, and maybe in other places in Asia and the Philippines or something like that you will have a bit less service, because the service is top notch here. So you pay a lot of money, but you do get a lot of good service here. So everyone of the hotel we stayed at, SCJW, Marriott, Kafu Resort, was so kind, so amazing. And also they gave us so many little gifts all along the way. And also we asked people, like the people who work there, like, is this normal that you give all these gifts? Free drinks, free desserts, a lot of different things. For example, we asked for a mayo or lava cake at the dessert. They didn't have it, and they just came with a cake, a chocolate cake that they were preparing for maybe a future menu. So yeah, they were very, very kind. But still, is it worth 1,000 euros a night? That seems a bit unlikely. Here again, I had like sharks coming up to me, under me, above me, next to me. Yeah, this is one of the best experiences I had. I'm repeating myself, but you should definitely try to swim as much as you can, to learn to freedive, because that's something you really should learn to do, because it is amazing and it allows you to be free. I think I made a video before where I said that freediving is like flying. If you can swim somewhere where you normally cannot go, like normally people cannot go in the air and go fly whatever they want. Same with underwater, you cannot go anywhere in the water because you have a limit, a breathing limit. And also normally you float, so it's a bit like gravity. You float on top of the water, and just like gravity, you're stuck on the ground. So the moment you can defy physics, not floating but going down, or defying gravity and going up, you feel very free. You feel that you're doing something unique. Just imagine being able to stay down with maybe some oxygen. That would be so amazing to have that technology. I think there's something like this that exists, but yeah, that would be amazing. Again, thank you so much if you made it till the end of the video. Thank you for watching with me this video, enjoying the amazing dives I had. Feel free to have a look at my channel. I also have the 360 version, VR, virtual reality video version of this video. Subscribe, look at my channel, have a look at my content, and hopefully I can see you in the next one and the next video. Feel free to support me any way you can. Have a look at my description, maybe you have something there to support me. I obviously want to make more Insta360 videos and document my life for myself. You watching this video is a secondary thing, which I like to share art like this. In my opinion, this is art, this is the beauty of nature, and I'm just documenting it. So too many fish I've seen here in this video, and they're all different shots. Yeah, I was very exhausted at the end of this video of taking all these videos and swimming with them, going down, doing it quick, making sure that there's no other tourists coming, because I did it like in half an hour or even less. Thanks so much for watching, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.